turn, both for and against Jinro, so let's see if TT1 can pull a comeback on this map.
Another thing so important, Day, is that both of these players are going to be so deadly in the grand finals, not having lost a match, because the thought of having to fight them twice is brutal. Brutal.
So in the bottom left, give a cheer for TT1, the red Protoss from Fnatic MSI, who is battling to try to get into the grand finals. No matter what happens in this game, he is not out of this tournament yet. And give a cheer for the player in the top right, LiquidJinro, the blue Protoss from Team Liquid, trying to represent. Now, for the record, Jinro was actually the moderator of Team Liquid Starcraft 2 forum for several years. And you know, it's kind of funny, if you've ever gotten the chance to read the admin forums, how unbelievably nice he is to everyone at all points in time. Someone will freak out and say the most offensive things, and he'll give them a 2-day ban and say, I hope I wasn't too harsh. He's actually an extremely nice person.
That's good to know. Make sure he's admin.
Nice person in real life, murderer in the game.
Murderer in the game, and that's exactly what he did in game 1. Is he? I mean, he just made it look so easy in that particular match with the great Banshee play coming out there. Of course, just the great push and the timing on that. We are going to have barracks going down for Jinro right now as the probe production continues, and of course we have TT1 throwing down his gateway.
I actually did like that word you almost made up, conduction there. That probe conduction, I think, is a pretty cool thing. You always want to have a highly conductive probe. So there's LiquidJinro shooting down to the bottom left with his SCV, just checking to make sure there's no proxy gateways. Didn't do it as fully as most players do, dipping behind that shrubbery, but either way, he's going to stop by the Xel'Naga watchtowers. You know something I just realized, Wheat?
What's that?
I don't think that we have seen Jinro repeat strategies ever. Every single game of his that we've seen, even some of the replays of his I've watched, he's done completely different openings every single time.
No, I think you're right on that. I think that would be a statement of truth, Dave.
Thank you. I like to say true things as a caster. I also like to lie a lot as well, but that's the power I have with the mic, man. Either way, we do see the Cybernetics core going down for TT1 in the back of his main. Again, nice spotter Cybernetics core. Can see a lot of vision back there. Jinro is, of course, making 2 Marines at this point in time. Getting the Mule down as well. Don't have a factory going down yet. Actually, nothing made use of that gas yet.
Nope, just the first Marine coming out. We'll find out what will come down next for Jinro. Maybe he wants to get that Marine out, deny any scouting first. He will be putting a tech lab down on the barracks. And, of course, Marine is going to try to shoo this probe away from the Xel'Naga watchtower and, of course, from getting any intel from inside the base. Meanwhile, Zealot out for TT1. He will chase out the SCV as well, and a Stalker coming in as well.
Looks like that Zealot is evicting the SCV. These Marines from Jinro are desperately trying to find this probe, but wow, TT1 with some very nice movement patterns manages to sneak its way right on up, and it looks like a command center will be going down for LiquidJinro. He'd like to have it hidden as long as possible, but that's a pretty significant delay. He's up at 500 minerals and is really trying hard not to reveal his plans, but I think TT1 has a good idea of what's coming regardless.
And if you are TT1, what are you thinking is coming?
Well, honestly, I think that he's probably going to be going for the 1-gate expand. We do see, a lot of Stalkers lined up, but no second gas, no other gateways. Warp gate going down, but no surprise there. I think that he would be very wise to throw down a command center very shortly.
All right, well, the command center is down. We'll see if Nexus comes out here. Here comes TT1 with his 400 minerals making his way to his natural. And look at this little SCV right here is going to catch it. And he does come into vision just briefly there. So I'm sure that TT1 has an idea that, he just got spotted on that. Although it was probably pretty likely, as you said, as an answer to what we saw Jinro go with.
So we see several Stalkers popping out right now with 1 Zealot, and notice he's not getting this gas still. He's going to rely on Stalkers and Zealots to defend instead of the usual sentries to throw down the force fields. We do see that stim upgrade is going down, extra barracks down, and a reactor coming up from Jinro. Wants to be aggressive, and look, already Jinro is gearing up for the late stages of the game by killing these destructible rocks, and it looks like, wow, 4 gateways going down for TT1.
I really like that. I mean, idle units are just exactly that. Idle units, you're going to likely take this if it does go to the late game. Let's get it out of the way and not make it something else you got to worry about later on. So Jinro definitely being active all over the map, just as he was with his scouting. And we do have a probe going around the back. We're going to be curious to see what TT1 will decide to do here. Of course, so the expansion just going down. We haven't seen Jinro put too much attention on that back door. Sometimes you'll see a supply depot. Sometimes you'll see a Protoss put a pylon there, but he's just going to use it to quickly get around safely so he can actually get back there and may even be able to walk right into his base.
That is a really unusual coincidence that right as the rallied units completed, they were exiting, so he will see absolutely everything, and that's got to be a shock to your confidence as Jinro. Jinro is getting the stim and combat shield upgrade. Again, going to rely on very good unit movement, but look at this. TT1 had perfect transfer timing on that Nexus in the main. Still only one gas geyser, and there is his second gas geyser going down at the 63 food mark, but look at the impressive army TT1 is accumulating.
Yeah, it's looking really good right now, and so that is obviously going to be Q for Jinro to move back. He did get stim finished, and combat shield is nearly completed as well. Factory also going down here right in the middle of Jinro's base as he continues bio production out of these barracks.
And it looks like, yeah, Marines still do not have the shield quite yet there. It's just now finishing. Curious if he's going to go for some sort of timing push, but instead he builds a bunker at the front, probably feeling very scared because he did scan and see 4 warp gates finished. No sign at all, actually, of a robo bay. There it is, finally going down at the front. And he can use these gateway units to begin whacking down at these destructible rocks to take yet another expansion. And look at this, 2 more racks going down for Jinro as he's gearing up to get a starport.
All right, well, we could see a stream of bio units coming out here for Jinro, a style that's actually become very, very popular even before the factory goes down. A ton of barracks just spitting out those units and constant pressure. Starport is going down right now. Over on the other side, we've got the robo facility about ready to complete, and another gas was just finished, and we'll see if it is populated here momentarily. But again, this is the size, about the size of the army that we've seen TT1 push forward with in some of these other matchups. At what point do you think he's going to be comfortable? You think we're going to see movement here soon?
I think he'll probably favor getting an observer first just to lead with it, because at this point in the game, he's playing quite far into the dark. The Terran timings are a lot wider than the Zergs, because Zergs do have to choose, do I make units or do I make drones? So he can exploit that quite a bit. But against Terran, he doesn't really know. It looks like Jinro's favoring the big Marauder force, is now getting 1 medevac out, and look at how low his money is, down under 50 for both minerals and gas. Immortal coming out right now for TT1. Like that play quite a bit. Again, the Colossus creates a big vulnerability if your opponent is willing to spread his units out, which, as we've seen, Jinro is quite apt to do.
We're going to have an Immortal popping out, and if you look over here, Day, at the wing, there is a pylon that has been put down here by TT1. Curious to see what he'll actually end up doing with that one, whether it is just, again, a spotting pylon in case any medevacs want to come down through there or anything, but we'll find out in just a moment. Some movement here by TT1 as he gets his first Colossus out on the field, and, of course, extended thermal lance also on the way.
Big force of Marines and Marauders out right now for Jinro, and there's the Ghost, his trademark favorite unit. We see the Ghost Academy at the north end. No nukes, unfortunately, for us observers, but still he is coming forward with a very intimidating force, and this could do quite a bit of damage. It all really relies on the force fields that can be thrown down by these 4 sentries in the back. 1 Colossus out as well, and it is going to be quite a while until TT1 gets a big dominating Colossus force.
And TT1 did attempt to put another pylon over on the second wing, and it was taken out. And look at this, Jinro actually going over there to see what's going on. Is he going to catch that pylon? He does, and he'll take that out as well, lowering, of course, the vision of TT1, and also taking away a little bit of that supply, although he's doing very, very well. You look at it, it's 117 for Jinro to 132 now for TT1 as he is pulling ahead ever so slightly.
And I really like this play. Again, getting the very fast forge for the +1 attack upgrade helps do a little bit more damage to those ground units. And Jinro's army is looking relatively small when compared to TT1's. But again, Jinro with these little small forces picking off a pylon at the south end, keeping Marines in good spotting locations. I mean, if you just look at his vision, he has almost a complete line across the map.
Yeah, and Jinro is doing very well with this against Sock, too. In a lot of cases, he would actually use these smaller forces to absorb things like storms that were coming out, etc., getting that energy to be wasted. And while all this is going down, while the rocks are being taken out, we did see a medevac picking up several units, 4 Marines, 2 Marauders, and oh, will they? Yeah, I think he saw that flying away there with the vision, yeah, with the tower, and so he may just choose to push forward here.
Uh-oh, but was he paying attention to the mini-map? We will find out soon as the drop is happening. Huge push at the front. He stims, but that is a lot of Zealots from TT1 just murdering all of those Marauders. Only 1 Colossus, but clearly doing more than enough damage. TT1 did see it and warped in units in time. Still chrono boosting the +1, and TT1 has no Colossus. He has 1 Colossus at the back, but still a very, very powerful force. He's going to be able to wipe out this command center. This drop did get repelled. Oh, the expansion from Jinro falls, and TT1 is in dominating position.
Yeah, very good position right now. He is now just sitting on top of the gold of his opponent, Jinro. The drop is going to return back to the base, and he just wants to be as annoying as possible. Some Zealots are going to come in. Oh, watch out, because that Colossus has come to join the party. Cannot take out those Zealots, but he does manage to do significant damage to them, and you can see TT1 gearing up here to take this gold.
Does need to warp this into a warp gate. There's been a little bit of disorganization. If we go to the APM, look at TT1 playing at 235 APM. Very, very fast, but how much of that is speed and how much of that is just nerves getting to him, the adrenaline causing him to click around a little more frantically. There's the gateway coming out right now, even chrono boosting it to get it up sooner. And here comes the giant force of TT1 together. There's a whole bunch of pylons just out, and it looks like he will get some free food.
Yeah, he's kind of way out of position here. He's going to move forward, take off these pylons, and this army of TT1 is going to have to move back in. Now, what will Jinro do now? He's going to come around the corner, and TT1 might try to hold him off at the pass, but he's not going to go immediately through that little choke there. He's going to actually go the opposite way. 1 Viking getting picked off here by the Stalkers. It will manage to take away. Oh, and there goes a free Colossus in the back.
Oh, and it looks like this Colossus is taking a lot of damage, but also helping with this battle quite a bit. There's the EMP just slicing through most of those units. 1 Colossus falls, the second one falls, but it is not the Colossus winning the battles today. It is all these ground units ripping through everything, but at the same time, a small counterattack by Jinro doing some damage. Double Robo Bays out right now, and that Immortal is just helping rip through the rest of those. And here comes another drop attempt by Jinro, but there are cannons and Zealots there to greet him.
Yeah, nice job keeping these Zealots around. He's going to warp more units in back at his base, force this dropship to get out of there, and he did. Now he's going to put down this Nexus, despite the fact that Jinro did move forward and take that down. The dropship will just remain there, and you can also see TT1 at this winged expansion as well, just with the probe there. Not sure what he wants to do with it, as Jinro is going to try his second attempt at this gold.
Yeah, and this is a very just solid position for TT1. Look at how many units he has. He has the +1 upgrade. He's even getting the +1 armor. Moving around, we don't see any Twilight Council. He's trying to get some of those more Colossi up, and now that he's getting that gold up, he'll be in good position, and the Planetary Fortress is not up. The bunkers have to be canceled. Jinro is in an all-out retreat. Beautiful EMPs. Oh, hitting almost everything, but it will not matter because Jinro is so low on units. 1 Colossus falls. Can he get the second one? It may not even matter. The Immortal at the front falls, and that Colossus is still helping to do damage from the back.
Yeah, Colossus is about dead, and it looks like a second time. The Planetary Fortress is almost done, and just as it completes.
There's the good game. TT1 from Fnatic.